What happens when hope becomes obsession? When the past isn't just something you remember, but something you live? And what does it take to finally let go? All the Colors of the Dark by Chris Whitaker isn't just a thriller. It's the story of a boy named Patch, who's abducted after a moment of bravery. And he spends the rest of his life searching for the girl he believes he left behind. It's also about Saint, the friend who never stops trying to bring him home. And it asks some questions that feel unsettlingly familiar. How do you heal when the past won't stay in the past? Patch is 13 when he tries to save Misty from a masked attacker. Instead, he's kidnapped and held in darkness, where he meets Grace, or he thinks he does. Grace becomes everything, his anchor, his purpose, and ultimately the ghost he can't stop chasing. Over the years, Patch's life becomes a random orbit, circling the question of whether Grace was ever real and whether he can ever be free without her. One of the most powerful things this book shows is that trauma isn't a moment you can leave behind. It's a splinter that lodges itself deep. Trauma expert Bessel van der Kolk has said that these experiences aren't stored as stories at all. They show up as fragments. A smell, a sound, a feeling. In the novel, Patch drifts between memory and the present. His life after captivity feels like an echo of the dark room he left behind. Maybe you felt something similar, an old fear or memory that still shows up uninvited, long after you thought you were past it. As Patch grows up, his search for Grace becomes more than a mission. It's the center of his identity. He paints her face over and over. He risks everything to find her, even as the rest of the world insists she might not have existed. Psychologists call this goal fusion, when your purpose gets so tightly bound up in who you are that letting go feels impossible. So reading then, I found myself wondering, where is that line between hope and obsession? At what point does devotion start to hollow us out? One of the things that struck me most is how Patch turns to art. Painting isn't just a hobby, it's a way to give shape to feelings that have no words for him. James Hennebaker shows that creative expression, whether it's journaling, music, or art, can help us process trauma and find some measure of relief. Patch's paintings are proof that beauty can still grow out of pain. Maybe you've had your own version of that, a way to create something out of what hurt you. And then there's Saint. Her loyalty is unshakable, and sometimes it costs her nearly everything. Their bond made me think about how far we go for the people we love, or how sometimes standing by someone can feel as risky as walking away. This story also raises a quieter question about forgiveness. How do you forgive someone who's hurt you or themselves so deeply? Psychologist Robert Enright describes forgiveness not as saying the harm was okay, but as choosing to release resentment so you can keep living. It's complicated, it's never clean, and the book doesn't pretend it is. All the Colors of the Dark is about trauma and loss, but it's also about love that doesn't fade and the stubborn hope that some things are worth searching for, even if you never find them. It asks us to look at the dark and notice that there are colors there too. If you'd like to explore these questions in community, I've created a printable book kit to guide your discussion. Inside, you'll find discussion questions that go beyond the plot, psychology insights that connect the story to real life, a timeline of major events, character guides, and printable bookmarks. Also, warm-up activities to make the conversation feel approachable and meaningful. You can find the link below. I hope it helps you create the kind of conversation that stays with you long after you turn the last page. If you enjoyed this reflection, I'd love for you to subscribe. Here, we explore the intersection of literature, science, and personal growth, so you can read not just for escape, but for insight. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.